Hello everyone and welcome back to another game I'll be looking into. It is a game played by Fuzzy and looks like Fuzzy played as Cumans and somebody called Log Ski or Log Ski played as Mongols. Let's get into it. While it loads, uh, this is a 1v1 ranked game I believe that Fuzzy played and he won this game. So we'll be looking into the strats that were used and analyze the game, see what the strategies were for both players, and also see if there are things that can be improved for both. We'll switch over to Capture Age as it loads. It's a game, seems like it's not Arabia, it's Arena actually, sorry about that. Here we go. Arena game is always fun to watch. Let's look into that. That's Fuzzy's Town, and that's Lotsky. Lotsky is playing as Mongols, which is a good civ to play where you have a lot of hunt. And on this map, you have safe hunt of 4 deers. Sometimes you have ibex. Sometimes you have deer. So the Mongols really go through the hunt very fast. Sheep is not considered hunt; it's considered herdables, and herdables are different than the hunt. The hunt is deer and boars, elephants or rhinos. Those are really hunts because those are something that you have to lure towards your TC. Deer you have to push with your scout or a villager, or you can go out and take them as you if they are closer to you, or you can just mill them. So as Mongols will be looking to do that. Cumans, a very strong civ. I believe on Arena is a very good civ because you can get your second TC in Feudal Age, and you can also get a Siege Workshop, which means if you really want to do an early rush, you can throw in a ram or two with your rush, and that really helps you in Arena breaking through the wall. Thus he has gone to the woodline. I normally recommend that your first lumber camp should be as close as possible to your TC. The reason is it reduces the walking distance for the villagers, and that is more efficient in general. I see Fuzzy is pushing in the deer, which is great. Great to see that. But villagers shouldn't be idle. They shouldn't be idle for this deer. They should be always working. So the timing just a little bit off, but not bad for Fuzzy. The timing is just a bit off. Is he gonna take the boar with his TC? Oh boy, he should ungarrison right now. That was close, because that boar was almost dead with TC fire. That would have been a disaster. Now that boar is really weak, so he really gotta bring this boar right underneath his TC before he gives it a final hit. So taking the boar with TC fire is risky, very risky. If your timing is not good, you can lose the boar to TC fire, which means you can the food is not there anymore for you. So you just got to be very careful with that. And you should always have 5 wills on your boar to reduce the decay. The deer you can always take a bit later in the dark age. Once you go through your first 4 sheep, I would say, yeah, go through your first 4 sheep, and then go in to take a boar with 5-6 villagers, and then go after the hunt, the extra hunt that you have a bit later stages in the game. So I think that's more efficient. Um, so just a couple things there um, that really affect your early game, such as the lumber camp. Try to have it a bit closer to the wood line, sorry, closer to the TC. And same thing,
What?
your villager shouldn't be idle. Your timing has to be better. So when you're halfway through the sheep, the fourth sheep that you get, your one of your villagers should go out to get the boar. If you're going for that build order, some players go off the boar, get the boar right away before they go to even the second or the third sheep. So you start off on the first sheep, and I've seen SS do that a lot, and that's also one of the ways to do it. That way you don't idle your villagers. So as soon as you have 5-6 villagers, you go out and get your boar. Um, so that's the best way to do it, I think. And always shift task the drivers, the villagers. When you shift task the villagers, that means as soon as they finish up with one sheep, they go to the next one without any issue, without any dead time or any idle time. The deer, normally I recommend you take it out with 4 villagers. 4 villagers finish the deer one shot. 3 villagers would leave some food behind, but 4 villagers would take it one shot. So that's one of the tips that I use. So Logiski, let's look at Logiski. His villagers are all over the place for some reason. I don't know what's going on. He's taking the boar with 16 villagers for some reason. I don't know. He has a lumber camp with 5 villagers who are bumping into each other for some reason. So, wow, a lot of idols. Let's look at the idle eco time. Logiski has around 3 minutes, but Fussy has a lot more, you see. This is the reason I was saying what regarding the board timing. I think that board timing was really off. As soon as you finish your third, fourth sheep, you should go out for the boars uh, halfway through, so you don't have to keep your villagers waiting. That's what you should be focusing on in Dark Age. In Dark Age, the better your Dark Age is, the better your feudal will be, and so on and so forth. So you really got to start in Dark Age doing things correctly. Here, Logiski is going after the berries really quick. This is just a very, very inefficient eco because you know that your villagers will bump into each other and it'll be hard to micro. So this is very it's not something that you see usually. Right now, Logiski has 27 out of 30 wills, so he's okay. He can build one house and he's fine, but he's building 3 houses. So he's wasting wood on houses when he doesn't really need to. So that's another thing you need to focus on. And as Mongols, he has not gone for deer. This is awful. He's making he's making these Dark Age farms while he's almost in Feudal Age. He should be taking deer in the meantime. He shouldn't be making farms. So that's a huge mistake in my eyes. Feudal Age farms don't really give you much. They give you roughly, well, there's 2 food left, 11 food left. So he's almost out of food on these farms also. So I think it was important for him to take the deer as Mongols. Very surprised he didn't do that. Bears coming up for Logiski. And is Fussy going for the second TC yet? No, he's not, but 3 of his villagers are just idle. That's a lot of idle time. That has to go down. That's a lot of idle TC time. That has to go down. So when you look at the pro players or when you look at the better elo players, the first thing that you will see in their gameplay is that their Dark Age is very, very clean. There's no idle time. There's no inefficiency in their villagers' work. So that's very important that you have this kind of a gameplay. in Dark Age. Very, very important. That back to the game. All right. So, like I said, Dark Age is very important. A lot of players don't put a lot of emphasis on it. They just do whatever they look at as the best play. But there are certain build orders that should be followed to make it as accurate as possible. And yeah, like I said, the higher elo players, you will always see them play a very clean Dark Age. And they will try to make sure that their Dark Age is very, very clean. And the reason for that is very simple, because that's a launching pad for you, economy-wise, to get into a better position, to make military, fight, and sustain it at the same time. So second TC came up for Fussy on this map, while Logiski is not really collecting any, not really going for any deer. I mean, even if he sent like 4 villagers here to just take this deer, he would be so much ahead in food that he would easily collect like half the food he needs to get to Castle Age just from these 4 deer. So it's important to take this deer, as Mongols especially. Fussy also left 1 deer here, still 140 food left in that deer, and that's just free food. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just there. You know, you should take that. It helps you in early game. I know once you go late game it doesn't really matter much, but in early game it does help you. And those are little things that need to be done in order to get ahead of the opponent. And if you can do them in a timely manner, you can for sure put yourself in a better position to make military. So a lot of builds on gold for Logiski.
Feeling bad.
This villager is going out to do something. A range coming up right next to the walls. What is Fuzzy's plan? That's a range as well. It's not a big deal, but I would also mention that I would put one of my TCs, like the second TC, on a wood line. In feudal age, I think you need that a lot of wood to make a lot of farms. Depends on what you're gonna go for, but early on, I think you should instead of gold, I would put a TC on wood. That would give you good wood income to make as many farms as you want, and that's what's important in the early game. Let's say feudal age, even in castle age, to produce villagers to make farms. So let's see what the both players will go for. Stables and a range for Fussy. And Mongols have not done much yet. See, Mongols is not even on stone yet. He should be on stone to make castles. He's already in castle age, so he's not putting anybody on stone. Now he's going to stone. But a bit too late, I think. He should be on stone much earlier. He's putting a TC on stone. You will need that for your castles and to make mango dyes, because I think mango dyes is one of the best plays for Mongols, and especially late game, I guess. And also a siege workshop would do. With the fast moving siege, you can really make it tough for the opponent. So both are just booming, sitting camping in their town and booming. There was no early rush from either player, which is okay, I guess. It's arena, and so far I don't see anybody contesting the relics either. First, his scout is sitting in a corner, so is Logiskis right on the wall. Both hit castle age. Fuzzy's looks like going for a couple monks there. I think he's gonna go for the relics. He forgot to make a lumber camp here. His villagers are just walking to the TC with the wood. I think he set the waypoint and totally forgot he had to make a lumber camp. Yeah. He has a TC there. If he's trying to set a waypoint just for the time being, the best way to do is just put it on a straggler tree. If you're looking to just put some villagers on work while you are doing something else, then you can always put them on straggler trees like this one here. He could take some villagers off of wood now and go into farms. He has only 13 on food. Even if he's going keep checks, you need a good food eco, because you need the upgrades, and that costs food and gold for the most part. So for example, like an elite keep check would cost him food and wood. I think it's 1,000 and 1,100, something like that. There you go. He's coming up with all these farms. Yeah, that's the right way to do it. Use up your wood, make farms, make more villagers, and then the same cycle continues. He's getting his relics. Castle is up in front to protect his this gold. Maybe over here would be a better idea, just to get in range for this gold and this gold, but that's okay as well. Now Cumans don't get stone walls, so if he loses his stone walls, he will have only palisade walls, which are stronger than the regular palisade wall for Cumans. Cumans palisade walls are higher HP than say the palisade walls that gods get, so it's not that bad, but still they're just palisade walls. And a lot of monks going out, stone being collected outside. Nobody is making any military yet. Both will play late into Imperial Age, I think. University coming up, so surely we will look into a Kipchak play here from Fussy. And no castles yet for Logiski, but now he's going forward with the villagers. He'll make a castle on a wood line with the stone in front. Kipchak started coming out for Fussy. These are just regular Kipchaks, not elites. and both the players are nowhere close yet to make it to imp. I guess it's hard to tell, but if Fussy wants to go all in castle age, he's buying stone. I guess he wants to put up another castle so that he can make more keep checks, which makes sense. But if you want to go all in castle age, if you want to fight in castle age, then these keep checks make sense. Because right now he's not getting threatened by anything. Now he sees that there's a castle here because his scout just got shot by that castle. So his castle was, his scout was there for that reason, I guess. But Fussy has started investing into keep checks and he's going for a siege workshop. It's a good play, and the only thing is you don't want to be too behind in eco, because if the other player goes into Imperial Age, then you will be stuck. But since Logisky is also just booming at the moment with a really weird lumber camp, it's okay, I guess, to go into Kipchaks and Rams maybe. Yeah, probably Rams would make more sense. So let's look at the idle eco time for Fussy. Is huge, man. It's almost 34 minutes. His idle TC is also huge. I think Fussy needs to pay more attention to his idle time. He needs to have a select idle villager key on either his keyboard or mouse, so he can toggle through his idle villagers quickly to put them to work. I have one key on my mouse, which is the side button on my mouse. There are two buttons here, one for select TC and one for idle villager. Use that more often, make it a habit to click on that more often while you handle other things, but quickly toggle through your idle villagers, make sure that your villagers are working. Right now Fussy has 4 villagers idle and Logisky has 8. That has gone to 5, 3, but that's just a lot of idle time. That is just a lot of idle time. You should be constantly putting those guys to work. While you're making military, you should be able to do that. Mangada is coming out. Kipchaks are already out. Mangodai, not an elite, but very, very strong unit. Nevertheless, very strong unit. Yeah, this game looks like it's gonna go for long. Both are booming like crazy. And Logisky seems to have the food to go into Imp, but not the gold. Whereas Fussy has already clicked up, so he'll be faster into Imperial. And he can get going on the traps. Another castle coming up. There's a second castle, there's a third castle, so he's really surrounding Logisky with castles, but also Logisky has put up 1, 2, 3 castles. And pumping out now he's clicked up, so he'll be behind in Imperial, but he may have a slightly better eco maybe. 117 villagers for Logisky and 101 for Fussy. Both are decent ecos, I would say. So far, 27 military for Fussy and 19 for Logisky. And Fussy has hit Imperial Age. Let's see what he goes for. He has to click up to Imperial, Elite Kipchak. Bunch of capped ramps coming out. Chemistry on the way. Looking good. And what is the response from Logisky? Well, he clicked up to Imp, which means he's low on resources. For that, he has 1600 stone. He could sell that for gold and make a lot of Mangodais. And have the gold to click Elite Mangodai. Fussy has not much wood, but a lot of gold again. a lot of stone. And the thing is, Mango Dice are strong against siege. They have a special bonus against siege, so they take out siege with no problem. Like, look at those cap trams going down by Mango Die fire, and these are not elite Mango Dice, these are regular Mango Dice, but they have a special bonus against siege, so they took out all the rams with no issue. He didn't even need to use the combos against the rams. So keep that in mind. Mango Die is very, very strong against siege. They can take out siege, like one siege onager could be taken out by like 5 Mango Dice with like 2 or 3 shot. They can 2 and 3 shot these units. So now Lojiski is also an Imperial. Fussy is going for a Cav upgrade. I'm not sure what he's going for. Maybe he's going for something. Cavalier upgrade is really a play into maybe Paladin, but he's also going for Parathin tactics. But heated shot is for ships, so you don't really need that here. From university, you don't need heated shot. Not for a land map. That's for only ships. That's when the castles get a special shot against ships. When you make castles on the boundary with water. So you don't really need that. So he's going for the armor upgrade. Yeah, that's the right upgrade. Let's see what he's going for. So Lojiski is making his excuse me. Lojiski is going for conscription, which makes it quicker for you to get the units out, which is 33% faster. Here come the kip checks, but these are not elite kip checks. These are elite Mango Dice. However, I think elite Mango Die will easily counter kip check. I think so. Kip check has 4+3 attack, 4 pierce armor, and the Mango Die has an 8+3 attack with a 4 pierce armor. So easily, Mango Die will take out these kip checks. Kip check has a decent range. So does a Mango Die. Yeah, these Mango Dies are stronger for sure. So first, he's taking all these stable upgrades. I don't know why. Is he looking to, like, he took the Cavalier upgrade and he took the Light Cav upgrade for some reason. I think that was not really needed. Maybe just go for Light Cav if you really want to go into that. But you see, camels will wreck Light Cav, and they will also wreck kip checks if they get close enough. So first, his microing is good. He's backing up and hitting them, which is great, and he's still bringing them under the castle fire. And he took out all the camels, but his kip checks will probably be taken out by the Mango Dice. The Mango Dice don't have the chemistry upgrade yet. Doesn't look like it. But kip checks didn't do that bad actually against elite Mango Die. They didn't do all that bad. Kill to death ratio for Lojiski is 46 kills and 24 deaths. So Fussy's trade was pretty poor in that case. Again, I think the lack of elite kip check is causing the issue. No chemistry upgrade for Lojiski. He should be getting that. That is an important upgrade. Yeah, these kip checks will go down to Mango Dice. Mango Dice won't be affected by them. So, as Cumans, what can you do against Mongols? Very, very tough, I would say. Do Cumans get camels? Because if they do, I think that might be even a better play. Or even a Paladin. I think Paladin might be a better play than Kipchak here. I think so. There come the Hussars. But Hussars, I don't think will survive too long against the Mango Dice. Mango Dice are very strong. I think they're very strong against Paladin also. There you go. Elite Kipchak is coming up now for Fussy. A bit too late. I think he lost a lot of units. He should have taken this upgrade first. He went for Cavalier, Light Cav, and Hussar upgrades before he got the Elite Kipchak upgrade. If you have a main unit like Kipchak that you would like to go in because you did the upgrades on them, then you should always get the Elite upgrade first for Kipchak before you tech into a trash unit. There you go. Hussars are the meat shield, going in front, trying to divert the fire of the Mangodais, and while the Kipchaks take out the Trebs and then run away. Not a bad move. Well played. Well played from Fussy. He's going into Kipchaks and Hussar. So the play for Mangodais here, or Mongols rather, is really here come the Mangonels. This should be easy pickings for the Mangodais, but clearly the Mongol player is not playing the Mangodais correctly. He's not upgraded them to their full potential. They're still lacking chemistry, and I'm not sure if they're lacking ballistics or not. But there come the Hussar from the Mongol player. But the Siege is a better play, I think. Is a better mix, I would say, from Fussy. So Logiski is also taking into Hussar now, but these Hussar will fall to Kipchak, I think. You see the Mangodais take out the Trebs with no problems. They're so strong against the siege. There goes another Treb. Those Hussars will just die for nothing. That castle has been there forever. Fussy is fixing it non-stop. Now he's gonna run out of stone, so he's gonna have to buy some in order to keep that. Took out a couple of Trebs. Lujisk is completely out of gold, and Fussy has occupied all the gold with his castles. So Lujiski is gonna have a very tough time. 13.5k wood, he can sell some of that wood, Logiski. Buy some gold. Tech into Mangodais, get more Mangodais on the field. But at this point, if he, I think he's he's gonna be outnumbered big time here. That castle won't happen as the Kipchaks push in. Fussy shouldn't be fighting under the TC, not lose his numbers, keep his numbers, fight away from the TC, from the castle rather. So what does Logiski do? He is out of gold. He has no Mangodais on the field, and he's not really pushing with any other unit. So maybe he can tech into skirmishers here. Maybe if he takes into skirmishes and halberdiers and just play complete trash units, he can counter this. Hussar and Kipchaks, I think, are countered by skirms and halberdiers, so he should go for that. I think that should be his gameplay. But here he calls the GG. I don't think this was the stage to call a GG for Lojiski, though. He could have played on. He could have played on. He could have teched into. He had this space here, built some barracks here and some ranges. You already have Mangudais, which means you have done some research on ranges. So you could tech into trash unit. You're out of gold, which means you can tech into trash units and play skirms and halberdiers. And that would counter the hussars, and that would counter the Kipchaks. Um, but you have to do that in a timely fashion because now Fasi had a lot of Kipchaks, so it was tough to tech into that and mass them. You will need a lot of skirms, a lot of helps to counter this, but you have the food and the gold to do, food and the wood to do it. That's why I was saying that, because he has a lot of resources here, and he has a decent eco as well, 102 villagers. Fussy, on the other hand, expanded well, took map control, denied gold, and took out the Mangudais. I think Mangudais died because um, he didn't. Lojiski didn't really get all the upgrades on them, and he didn't push. Um, he should have pushed forward when he had the Mangudai numbers. And you should always have a trash unit with your gold unit. So when Fussy went for the Hussars, maybe a help switch into trash units would have been good for Lojiski. As for Fussy, I think the elite. I think he wasted a lot of resources on getting the Cav upgrade, the Cavalier, getting the light Cav upgrade, and then into Hussar. When you're in a good position like that, your trash unit would be better to have same thing. If the opponent is making mango dice, go for skirms. That would be a better, I think, trash unit than Hussars. Regardless, he took map control. That was the key here. First, he took map control with forward castles and took control of the gold, which was badly needed for Lojiski to make his mango dice. I think it's if there's one thing that I would like to point out in this game is that I think Fussy should balance between fighting and also his eco. For example, these guys are mining gold without a lumber camp. You should refresh a lumber camp here, and just time to time look at your eco and make sure it's running efficiently. That idle eco time is just ridiculously high. That TC time, idle TC time, is way, way, way too high. That has to go down. That absolutely has to go down. That is a huge number. And I know when you're winning the game, you don't really care, or when you're fighting, you don't really care, but you have to pay attention to these things. If the opponent counterattacks you and takes out safe, if safe Lojiski takes out this castle, and takes control of these goals, or does something weird on this side and starts pushing from this side, like I said, with Scums and Halberdiers, Fussy will have to have the resources to fight it. And if you have such a high idle eco time, you won't be able to. So when you go late game, um, it's acceptable to have some idle eco and some idle time because you're fighting, but this is huge. This is a lot. Um, I can assure you that if Lojiski fought back with halberdiers and skirms to counter the Kipchaks and the Hussars, the game could turn here. Right at this moment, it could turn because Fussy is not paying attention to his eco, and he's not. Uh, he's getting upgrades that he doesn't really need. Uh, so just those things. Look into him and see what you can do to improve them. Again, of course, I understand it's not pro level games. It's not, uh, you know. Nevertheless, you should always look to improve. And Dark Age, especially, I would say, start from the Dark Age. Make sure that you do the little things correctly, and that will really translate into a better play for you in feudal and castle. You could end games in Castle Age if you play the right game, the right Dark Age, and the right Feudal Age. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Thanks.